Had a fairly decent life till about the age of 5, from what I understand. Not much that I can remember from that time frame. First memory is my father leaving the house. By the age of 13, I would be what you considered a full-fledged addict. Met my wife, had my first child. Well, now my wife met Autumn at the age of 18. In 2006, I was deployed to Baghdad, Iraq for 18 months. During my time frame in Baghdad, I was involved in multiple explosions and got put onto opiate pain pills. When I returned home from Iraq, I was in pretty bad shape, mentally and physically. I had learned my wife had cheated on me while I was in Iraq. My drug addiction and my drinking spiraled out of control. I decided to get on heroin, and in 2008, I had brought heroin home and laid it on the bathroom counter, told my wife it was a crushed up pill, and allowed her to snort it, and I left for work. As always, heroin addiction led us to the needle, and we absolutely fell in love with it. We made the decision to move our family to Hagerstown, Maryland. 2017, my wife looked at me and said, "I love getting high more than I love you and the kids," and walked out of the house. I got to the end of myself and I didn't want to live no more. I took a piece of crack cocaine, 2 blue Xanaxes, stuck them in a needle, and stuck them into my arm. Something kept me alive that day. Something more powerful than anything that I can explain to anybody. My wife had went to court for some charges she had received. And when I had found out that she was released from there and wasn't going to jail, in my mind I just wanted to call her a snitch. I wanted to call her every name in the book, and I basically did. I told her exactly how I felt at that point in time. Ended up at the beginning of December of 2017 getting an apartment in downtown Cumberland. I left the crisis bed, moved into the apartment, and within 5 minutes of having the keys to the apartment, I ordered an 8-ball and a hooker. As I was laying in this apartment, completely fiend out and realizing life wasn't what I wanted it to be, something told me to go back to City Reach, Cumberland. When I returned to City Reach, Cumberland that day, I watched my wife give her testimony. And for some reason, I looked at her and I seen light in her eyes. I seen a smile on her face. And I seen it in almost everybody that was sitting around me. And I said, I want that. I want what she has. A few days later, I talked with the pastor of City Reach, Cumberland, and they connected me with City Reach, Ashland, Kentucky. By the time I got to City Reach, Ashland, Kentucky, I was beat up, I was broken, and I was at the end of myself. It was 11:30 at night, December 31st, and I walked through the doors of the church, and the pastor's wife, Michelle Grubb, come up and gave me a hug. And something that was unknown to me at that point in time told me life was going to be okay. You're going to be okay, Phil. That's all I kept hearing. I got to watch the restoration happen between me and my wife. I got to watch restoration between me and my children happen. I got to learn how to put a smile on my face. And I learned that all along I had a father that I was searching for. And that was a game changer for me. I proudly graduated from City Reach, Ashland, Kentucky. And I knew God was telling me to come back to Cumberland, Maryland. So I made the decision to come back into the second phase of City Reach, Cumberland Men's Home. And God has allowed me to know that that was one of the smartest orders and one of the smartest decisions that I ever did in my life. Since I've came back, God has opened up multiple doors for me. God has allowed restoration inside of my life. God has allowed me to spend time with my children. This past Christmas, I got to spend the night with my children. I got to wake up to my children and open their Christmas presents. Where 1 year ago, I was sitting in the bottom of a church basement alone. Today, because of the love of Jesus, I have my family. I have a lot of good friends. I have a true life that I can be proud of. I can stand in front of people with a smile on my face and say I'm truly happy to stand where I am today. And it's all because of the love of Jesus that was showed to me. I'm Phil. I'm 34 years old, born and raised here in Cumberland, Maryland.